Good evening and welcome to this Christmas edition of Legal Matters with the Crosby Law Firm. I'm your host, Alan Jones, tonight, and my guest this evening is attorney Michael Crosby with the Crosby Law Firm. Legal Matters is an informational and news call-in show devoted to legal topics of interest to State Line viewers. We have attorneys standing by now to take your telephone call at the number on your screen. That's 815-397-2006. They'll be able to provide you with free information on your legal issues, so call now and do so throughout the next hour. Well, tonight's opening statement, in our first segment, we're going to talk about bankruptcy issues and other debt relief remedies. In the second segment tonight, we'll continue our popular You Want to Know question and answer segment, devoted to questions posed by you by way of telephone calls, emails, texts, and tweets that have been received by the company. Before we get started tonight, let's take time to remind you of the practice areas that Crosby Law Firm concentrates in. The Crosby Law Firm has a Center for Divorce and Family Law, an Auto Accident, Injury, and Social Security Disability Department, a Bankruptcy Institute, an Office for DUI, Traffic, and Criminal Defense, an Advanced Care, Plan, and Probate Center, a division for real estate and business matters, and a department for immigration and naturalization services. So please feel free to call tonight and discuss any of these practice areas with the attorney standing by. Again, that number on your screen, 815-397-2006. Well, before we get started tonight, Michael, I'd like to take a moment to wish you, your family, and Crosby Law Firm Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Thanks, Alan, and same to you and your family. A Merry Christmas to your family. A Merry Christmas to our viewers out there, and a Happy New Year. To commemorate the Christmas season, I'd encourage all of our viewers to take a look at our Christmas message, which will air at the end of tonight's show. I think it's very inspirational, and hopefully most people will enjoy it.
All right. Well, Christmas time is supposed to be a holiday season, celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ, family time, things to get around, but oftentimes the Christmas time is pretty stressful, can be stressful. So what can the Crosby Law Firm do for those people who find themselves in tough time this time of year?
Well, no question. The Christmas season for most of us is a blessing, a time to celebrate the birth of Christ, and it's a joyous time for all of our families. But there are folks out there that are struggling at Christmas time with all kinds of issues. And so I would encourage those viewers out there, whatever your issue may be, whatever your problem may be, please don't hesitate to pick up the phone, give our office a call tonight. We'll be happy to address your concerns and hopefully enable you to have just a little bit better of a Christmas this season, and that's what we're all about this time of the year. So please give us a call. We'll help you solve your problem and hopefully create a fine and wonderful Christmas for you and your family.
A little peace of mind at this time of peace.
Absolutely.
For the holiday season.
Absolutely.
Well, as a reminder, of course, the number to call on your screen is 815-397-2006. So please call if you have any questions. Well, as we just mentioned, of course, the Christmas season is indeed upon us. A lot of spending going on, and oftentimes that can result in a lot of financial problems for many people. What can the Crosby Law Firm help in questions of bankruptcy in that kind of situation?
Well, I think it's important to understand that this season, it's all about family. It's all about the celebration of Christ. And so don't be stressed out, folks, if you've got debt issues. Focus on the positives of the Christmas season. Please don't hesitate to give us a call. If you've got some debt issues, we do a lot of bankruptcy work, a lot of debt relief counseling, Alan, in our office. We provide a free consultation. Most of the bankruptcy and debt relief work that we do is flat fee. It's not by the hour. People know where they stand when they come in, and we provide that free consultation. And to many of these folks, I understand it's a catch-22 with the legal fees and the expenses tied with a bankruptcy. That's why we provide payment plans and extend credit to a lot of our clients. So pick up the phone. We'll be happy to address your issues.
Mm-hmm. What's the bankruptcy process like? Why don't you see that all the way?
Bankruptcy is federal law. We don't have debtor's prison in America. This is law passed by the United States Congress and signed by the President of the United States. And it's designed to give our viewers who have these issues a new economic lease on life, a new beginning.
Okay. The number to call again is 815-397-2006. So please call if you have any questions about that. Is there more than one kind of bankruptcy? I believe, we've heard of different chapters of it. Explain the difference in that.
Typically, when someone comes into our office, we'll analyze their debt issues, their asset structure, their asset issues, their income issues, whether they own a home, don't own a home. making some decisions as to whether we think they're a candidate for a Chapter 7 bankruptcy or perhaps a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Those are individual bankruptcies afforded to people, individuals. Chapter 11 is something that's afforded to corporations. So Chapter 7, Chapter 13, folks need to understand that whether you're single or married, we can file a married joint bankruptcy together as well, help you reduce your stress and give the whole family a new economic lease on life.
Okay, well, that's good information this time of year for sure. Again, the number is 815-397-2006. When we come back, we'll have the popular You Want to Know segment. You're watching the Christmas edition of Legal Matters.
The Christmas season is upon us. Ornaments will be hung all around. Lights will be placed just right to add that perfect sparkle. The tree will be flawless from top to bottom. A warm fire burning bright to keep us warm. And neatly wrapped gifts will conjure excitement and anticipation in children's hearts. This year, as you get every detail right, trust the Crosby Law Firm to do the same. A law firm founded in 1980 with local roots and lasting strength. From our family to yours, have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Christmas edition of Legal Matters. In response to the enormous support of thousands of telephone calls and positive feedback from the viewers, in connection with the Legal Matters show, we are continuing our rapid-fire question and answer segment called You Want to Know. In an effort to protect viewer confidentiality, please understand that we're only using first names. We may alter the location of the viewer and the nature of the question somewhat. So here we go, and we'll get to that in just a minute. Although we did get carried away a little bit with Christmas greetings and all that, there's one more point I wanted to bring up. You were talking about bankruptcy before, and property and family property, of course, is an important part of bankruptcy. That alone, I would think, would scare people into not looking into the bankruptcy solution.
Very important question, Alan. What I want our viewers to know out there, bankruptcy is about debt relief. So a lot of folks that visit with us presume that if they pursue a bankruptcy, they're going to lose their home, lose their car, lose their retirement account, lose the personal property in their house. Nothing can be further from the truth. The bankruptcy law, again, federal law signed by the president, designed to give you a new lease on life financially. So we're going to do whatever we can to make sure we can preserve your home if you want to keep your home, preserve your cars if you want to keep your cars, preserve your 401k, your retirement plans. So property is a very big issue. Don't presume that you're going to lose those assets. The government wants you to get a new start, and part of getting a new start is keeping some of those assets.
Okay.
Good question.
And those are important points that people
Absolutely.
need to remember. Absolutely. Okay, getting to our first question tonight. This comes from Kim in Loves Park. She says, what should I look for as I search for an attorney in Rockford? Do I need to consider an attorney from Chicago or Milwaukee?
Good question. Our firm, the Crosby Law Firm, founded in 1980, 35 years of doing this, 9 attorneys, well over 100 years of combined experience, local roots, lasting strength. There are a number of law firms or lawyers that are from out of our community who have tried to come into our community to represent folks. And some of those lawyers are well-meaning, some do a very good job. But by and large, it's critical and it's important that you retain counsel, retain a lawyer who understands not only your issue, but understands your community and how your issue may impact on the community and vice versa. So to my way of thinking, hiring a local law firm with local roots, extremely important.
Okay. Our next question comes from Mike at Rockford. The value of family, more magnified than ever around Christmas holiday. He asks, as we approach Christmas, my wife and I would like to know what we should do to protect our children and family in case of disability or, heaven forbid, even our death.
When we all sit around that Christmas table and celebrate it with a good meal with the family and open our gifts and contemplate the birth of Christ, lots of folks think about, my gosh, am I blessed? I have my family here, my children, my wife. What should happen, heaven forbid, if I become disabled? What should happen, heaven forbid, if I should pass away when my youngsters, my children are young? That's called an advanced care plan. We're able to take care of powers of attorney, your will, etc. So as you think about this Christmas season, and one of your greatest blessings is your family, having an advanced care plan in place is critical. We do a lot of this work in our office. I'd encourage you to give us a call. We'll be happy to help with those issues.
Okay, our next question from Julie and Byron. During the Christmas season, my husband and I spend a lot of time with our grandchildren. Really is a time of joy, she says, but our daughter and our son-in-law are struggling and may get divorced. Can the Crosby Law Firm help us?
It's kind of a question about grandparent rights. It's also a question about these folks wanting to protect their son or daughter who may be going through a divorce. Our office does a lot of divorce work, a lot of grandparent rights work. A lot of grandparents will come in and assist their son or their daughter with their divorce issues. So I would encourage you, particularly during the Christmas season, if you're struggling in these issues, please give us a call. We do a lot of this work and we'll be happy to help.
Okay, a reminder, that number to call again is 815-397-2006. The next question from Cindy in Boone County. My son and I recently in a car accident. My son broke his arm, suffered a head concussion. We have insurance, but not certain how to proceed. Does your law firm handle auto accidents?
We sure do. We do a lot of auto accident work in our office, a lot of truck accidents, railroad accidents, so forth and so on. If you have insurance and the fellow that struck you does not have insurance, through your own insurance policy, there are things that we can do to assist you. Uninsured, underinsured coverage. So if you're in an accident and the other fellow didn't have insurance, there's still hope for you. Please contact us. We'd be happy to help.
All right. Thank you, Mike. And that's all the time we have for Mike now. For the folks at home, stay with us. Mark Brenneson from the American Law Firm is up next. And don't forget, lawyers are standing by until 7:30 tonight. The number again is 815-397-2006. We'll be right back.
As we celebrate Christmas and the New Year, the Crosby Law Firm wishes you and your family peace on earth and goodwill. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Legal Matters has been brought to you by the Crosby Law Firm and American Law Firm.
Well, let me close tonight by encouraging you to pick up the telephone and call the attorneys standing by. And because of the high volume of calls, attorneys from the American Law Firm and the Crosby Law Firm will be taking calls for about another half hour after the show ends. So if you get a busy signal, keep trying and feel free to call tomorrow during regular business hours. And for our viewers who may not need the assistance of an attorney just now, please visit the Crosby Law Firm or the American Law Firm websites with any suggestions you may have regarding subjects of interest to you, and to view all of the past episodes of Legal Matters. You can also find the Crosby Law Firm on Facebook and on Twitter. So thanks very much for watching tonight's Christmas edition of Legal Matters. We hope you found it informative. Have a good night and a good holiday.
From the Crosby Law Firm family
and the American Law Firm family,
we wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
we want to thank you for watching our Christmas edition of Legal Matters.
Our law practice in particular, and the legal profession in general, is a calling and not merely a job. We are dedicated to helping you problem solve in a cost-effective, professional, and compassionate manner. The Christmas season is supposed to be a time of joy for family and friends. So let us help you resolve your issues and bring peace to you and your family during the holiday season.
Now we have some of the best and brightest attorneys throughout the northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin area standing by right now to take your calls. So please pick up the phone and call the number on your screen.
And now please take a moment to enjoy our Christmas greeting to you and to your family.
It's called One Solitary Life. It's written by Dr. James Allen Francis.
He was born in an obscure village, the child of a peasant woman. He grew up in still another village, where he worked in a carpenter shop until he was 30. Then for 3 years he was an itinerant preacher. He never wrote a book. He never held an office. He never had a family or owned a house. He didn't go to college. He never visited the big city. He never traveled more than 200 miles from the place he was born. He did none of the things one usually associates with greatness. He had no credentials but himself. He was only 33 years old when the tide of public opinion turned against him. His friends ran away from him, and he was turned over to his enemies and went through the mockery of a trial. He was nailed to a cross between two thieves. While he was dying, his executioners gambled for his clothing. When he was dead, he was laid in a borrowed grave through the pity of a friend. 20 centuries have come and gone, and today he is the central figure of the human race, the leader of mankind's progress. All the armies that ever marched, all the navies that ever sailed, all the parliaments that ever sat, all the kings that ever reigned, put together, have not affected the life of man on earth as much as that one solitary life. And although hundreds of years have passed, we still celebrate the birth of that baby from Bethlehem, and the wonderful happiness of that first Christmas still lives in our hearts.
We hope you enjoyed these profound and inspirational words concerning the birth of Christ and his time on earth. So once again, from all of us, Merry Christmas!